Here is the hardest truth about the bond between you and your dog, and it's the thing almost nobody says out loud. When you die, your dog will not understand that you died. It has no concept of death, no word for forever, no way to grasp that the door is never going to open again. All it will understand is something far simpler and far more painful. You always came home. And this time you didn't. To understand what actually happens inside that animal's mind, you have to stop imagining it thinks like you, because it doesn't. And the difference is the whole story. We move through life carrying a quiet, constant awareness that everything ends. We know people can leave and not return. A dog carries no such weight. A dog lives almost entirely inside a loop of routine and expectation. A world built not out of calendars and mortality, but out of patterns. You leave in the morning, you return in the evening. The leash comes out, the walk happens, the car door opens, you step through it. To your dog, life is a series of reliable returns. And you are the most reliable one of all. Every single time you have ever left, you have come back. So in the only model of the world your dog has ever known, leaving and coming back are the same event, just stretched apart by a little waiting. That is why, in those first hours and days, a grieving dog does not look like it's grieving. It looks like it's waiting. It goes to the window at the time you usually come home. It lies by the door. It lifts its head at the sound of a car that turns out to be someone else's. It is not in mourning yet, because in its mind nothing final has happened. Something is simply overdue. The most heartbreaking part of a dog's grief is that it begins as patience, and the reason that patience runs so deep is written into the dog's senses, especially the one that rules its entire experience of the world, which is smell. We understand the people we love mostly through our eyes and our memories. A dog understands you primarily through scent, and here is what that means when you're gone. You are still, in a very real way, present. Your smell is on your pillow, your clothes, the chair you always sat in, soaked into the carpet where you stood every morning. To a nose that can detect a person in traces we can't even measure, a house doesn't empty out the moment a body does. You linger. For days, even weeks, the dog is living inside a fading cloud of you, and every breath of that scent tells it the same gentle lie. He's near. She was just here. Any moment now. Scientists have actually looked inside the dog's brain during this, and what they found makes it worse and more beautiful at once. When researchers trained dogs to lie still inside an MRI scanner and then presented them with the scent of their own owner, a specific part of the brain lit up. The same region tied to reward and anticipation, the part that fires when something wonderful is about to happen. For some of those dogs, their own person's smell triggered a stronger response than food did. In the machinery of a dog's brain, you are not a provider of meals. You are the good thing that's coming. So when you're gone but your scent remains, that reward circuit keeps firing at the ghost of you, keeps promising a reunion that never arrives, over and over, until slowly the scent thins out, and even that fading promise begins to disappear. This is also why the idea that a dog only loves you for food falls apart completely under real science. The bond between a dog and its person is a genuine attachment, the same kind of anchoring bond a young child forms with a parent. Studies putting dogs in unfamiliar, slightly stressful situations found that with their owner present, the dog is braver, calmer, willing to explore, because the owner functions as a secure base, a safe center that makes the whole world feel manageable. Take that person away, and it isn't an inconvenience. It's the removal of the thing that made existence feel safe. When your dog loses you, it doesn't just lose the hand that fed it. It loses the center of gravity its entire sense of security was built around. There's one more layer to the scent world that deserves saying because it complicates the picture in a haunting way. A dog's nose doesn't only read the living. Dogs can detect the chemical shifts that come with serious illness and with death itself, the subtle changes in body odor that we have no access to at all. which means that in some cases the dog is not purely waiting in ignorance. It may have sensed, in the hours around the loss, that something was profoundly wrong, something its senses registered but its mind had no way to name or explain. Owners sometimes describe a dog behaving strangely right before or right at the moment of a death, growing agitated, refusing to leave a person's side, or going quiet in a way that's hard to forget. We can't say for certain what the dog understood, but it's likely that the animal caught the signal of the ending long before it caught the fact of it, and could do nothing with what it knew. So what happens when the waiting finally stops working? When the scent fades, the returns never come, and something in the animal begins to register that this absence is different from all the others. This is where the behavior we can only call grief sets in, and it is documented, real, and strikingly consistent. Dogs who lose their person often stop eating, or eat far less. They sleep more, and sleep restlessly. Some become withdrawn and quiet, the spark visibly gone out of them. Others go the opposite way, growing anxious and clingy, following whoever is left from room to room, as if terrified of being left alone again. Many search. They move through the house checking the places you used to be. Some return again and again to a single object that still smells like you and simply lie on it. We can't crawl inside their heads to know the exact texture of what they feel, and any honest person admits that limit. But the outward shape of it is unmistakable, and it looks an awful lot like heartbreak. The world already knows the most famous example, even if it doesn't always know it's an example of exactly this. In Japan, there was a dog named Hachiko, an Akita who met his owner at the same train station every evening. One day, his owner went to work and died there suddenly and never came to the station again. Hachiko returned to that spot at the same time, day after day, waiting for a man who was never going to step off the train. He did this not for a week, not for a month, but for around 9 years, until his own death. People have told that story for a century as a tale of loyalty, and it is. But look at it through everything we now understand, and it becomes something even more piercing. Hachiko was not being loyal in the way we imagine, nobly choosing to wait. He was doing the only thing his mind was built to do. His person had always come back. So he kept the appointment, because in a dog's world, you keep showing up, and eventually they arrive. And that, in the end, may be the closest we can get to what it's truly like inside a dog's mind when its owner dies. Not our version of grief, which comes wrapped in understanding, in funerals and finality, and the slow work of acceptance. The dog gets none of that. It gets no explanation, no closure, no story that makes the pain make sense. It only knows that the pattern that held its whole world together is broken, and it doesn't know why, and it can't be told. There's a strange cruelty in that, in loving something so completely without ever being able to understand where it went. But there is something almost unbearably pure in it too, because a love that keeps waiting without comprehension, without reward, without any hope it can name, is about as close to unconditional as anything on this earth gets. So if there's a single thing to take from all of this, it isn't sadness, it's a kind of quiet responsibility. Your dog has decided, with everything it is, that you are the good thing that's coming, the center its safety is built on, the one who always returns. It will hold that faith long past the point it makes any sense to. The least we can do in the years we actually have with them is be worth that. Be the person they're right to wait for. Come home while you still can, to the creature that has never once believed you wouldn't.